it's according to Nate the Hate. So yeah, I'd say it's happening. Yeah, if he says it's supposed to be coming next week, then I believe him. He has such a great track record. I mean, he was spot on with the Switch 2 Direct, even when it didn't look like it was going to happen. We were just completely unsure, and then sure enough, it happened exactly when he said it was going to. Just a shadow drop. So I don't think Sony's is going to be a shadow drop, but I'd say yeah, we'll be getting a PlayStation State of Play next week. I don't know if he says anything about what is expected to be shown. Doesn't say anything about that. So all we know is that, at least according to Nate the Hate, there's going to be a State of Play next week. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the fact that it's coming from Nate's is very implies that's very likely to happen. And as you said, he nailed the Nintendo Switch reveal and on the day, and even when people were about to bring out their pitchforks because the fact that Nintendo didn't even tease or announce that was going to happen, it still happened.
Yeah.
So I think this is very likely. And I mean, as far as what we'll see, I think it could be something that we haven't necessarily, or something that Sony hasn't necessarily talked about much in a while. Like, they could be discussing the Wolverine game, because I mean, I don't even remember when the last time they actually said something about the game was.
That was the initial teaser.
Yeah, that's been pretty much it. And I mean, of course, we had like the leaks and stuff, but nothing official has come up about it since then. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling we might hear something about it. And I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that they could probably even give the release date for the game. And I'll go out on a limb and say that maybe mid to late 2025. I mean, assuming nothing has happened with development, I feel like it's safe enough to bet that enough has happened where they can actually start showing more stuff. But at the very least, I think this game will definitely show up. I mean, what other has there been anything else that they've been? I mean, maybe we could get some Death Stranding 2. I mean, they've shown us that before, but I think those are probably the two games that I think will likely appear, as we've mentioned before, as part of our hopium. Maybe getting some Bloodborne revealed, but who knows? I'm not entirely certain what else would be appear. I mean, maybe on one hand also, I think some small PC port, probably something of like an older game that released before. They'll say, hey, and also coming to PC sometime later this year is whatever PC title is. I don't know what still hasn't been ported over yet so far, but something that would be relatively medium size. I mean, not something that is completely new, but something that probably released within about, I don't know, the past few years. So that's pretty much all that I have, but I don't know, maybe there's something I've forgotten.
Yeah, I think that I think there's definitely a good chance that Wolverine could show up there. I do think that even if it does show up, though, it probably will not be a 2025 release, in my opinion. Mostly because of the fact that because they wouldn't want it to get in the way of Ghost of Yotei. I mean, obviously they could, separate them far enough apart to where it wouldn't be an issue. But I think that one's going to be a 2026 game. And I mean, because Ghost of Yotei, I'm pretty sure they said is coming out this year. At least that was what they said when they revealed it. So I'd say that there's a chance we could see something from that game. Potentially a release date for it. I do think seeing Wolverine, some sort of actual preview beyond just that teaser trailer, is likely. Hopefully in a much more finished state than the leaks we saw. I mean, I would imagine by now it would have to be, because it's been probably at least a year since those leaks happened. I don't remember. Time flies, but I'd say I think there's a good chance we'll see at least one PC port. Whether it would be something that is just ported entirely separate because like it's already exists on PS5, or like the PS4 version or whatever already exists and this is just something else. Whether it would be something like that, or it would just be a like a new remaster. It's hard to say. I think that probably if I was going to put money on it, which I wouldn't because I don't put money on stuff, but if I was going to, I would say probably, barring the reveal of Demon Souls, of Bloodborne, Demon Souls would be my best bet, because we know that's coming. It's just a question of when. And it was on the Nvidia leak, and I believe it's the only like PlayStation specific first party game from the Nvidia leak that hasn't come yet. I may be remembering wrong on that, but I mean, of course, there's also Gran Turismo 7 that could be one of the things that could come over. Now, my extreme hopium / copium, I guess more just like, I know it's happening, I just don't know when, and because, it's hard to say exactly how their release schedule is going to be. I would love it if they just announced like several games that are going to be on both PS5 and PC, like remasters of PS4 games, the God of War trilogy, or the collection, the remake collection or whatever. Bringing the remasters of the Uncharted trilogy. I mean, honestly, I don't think most of these things are going to show up. I think it's going to be probably more third-party focused than anything else. Now, this is my extreme hopium kind of thing. That even if it was revealed, it probably would only be announced for PS5, even though it'll be day one everywhere. And that would be Persona 6. But not that I'm necessarily in a rush to play Persona 6, because I still have, I have at least two Atlas RPGs that I'm still working on. Plus Metaphor that I don't own yet. And that I'm just waiting to grab until it's on sale enough to make it worthwhile. But I'd say that is about all of my thoughts on the state of play.
Yep, sounds good.